Hello everybody and welcome to Tasty's Video Gaming Music Podcast, or something like that. Yes, I have been wanting to do a podcast that is based on video game music for quite a long time, and I finally just thought, let's just give it a go. If there's one thing I really like in video games, it's music. I don't feel like it's out there enough for people to listen to. I know myself, I listen to quite a lot of video game music and I find some of it just really good. I think if video games are missing a good soundtrack, it's actually missing one of the things that makes a game great. And every single video game track that's featured on this episode is a great game. That's just like the way it is. You don't necessarily need to like the games in order to like the soundtrack. There's plenty of games out there that are maybe not so good that have great soundtracks. But what I'm looking to do is I'm not expecting anybody to listen to it, or like for the full time. I was kind of looking to just keep it under an hour. And it could be something good for you to listen to while you're at work, Because I know myself, I like listening to stuff while I'm at work and it just helps pass the time better. And I am more than happy to take on suggestions from people about their favourite video game music and feature them in the episodes. I wasn't even entirely sure how I wanted to do these episodes. Was I going to have an episode dedicated to just a specific game, or was I just going to have a bunch of great video game music? I'm not too sure. Maybe we can have episodes that are dedicated to just a single game in the future, or a series. But I'm looking really forward to this, and I'm going to start off this podcast with Dire Dire Docks by Koji Kondo. He was the composer for Super Mario 64, and I hope I do not butcher some of the Japanese names in here, because they're pretty hard to pronounce, and I just hope that I'm getting them right. I don't want to get them wrong. I just want to give people their credit for what's due here. So everybody enjoy the first track. You could have a whole episode based on Super Mario 64. That's just the way it is for all the songs featured in this episode. The next song that I'm going to do is Lost Painting, and it's from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I don't need to speak much more about Castlevania. The game is one of the best games of all time, with one of the best composers of all time, and that is Michiru Yamane. Please enjoy it. Yeah, it's very short and sweet, Lost Painting. You'll notice that about some of the songs that are in this episode. Some can be short, some are long, but some repeat themselves. And I'll get into that a bit later with some of the later songs. The next song on the list is Venice Rooftops, and it's by Jesper Kyd, who is the composer for Assassin's Creed 2. No doubt, to this day, it still remains the best Assassin's Creed game of all time. Still holds up today. I played it not too long ago as well. The soundtrack goes with the game so well. I always remember the first time I played Assassin's Creed 2, and I was just blown away because what that game does is it's not been able to capture it since, you see. At the start of the game, you don't play as the assassin, you play as the man, Ezio, and you get to see what his life is like, and it gets you attached to that character and it makes you care for that character. So when you're playing that entire game, you really feel for Ezio, and I think it's something that they've never been able to capture again in the Assassin's Creed franchise, personally. But I hold out hopes that we might one day get another great Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was really good, actually. Really enjoyed that game. The last two ones were whatever, but that's a story for another time. So I'm going to take a little bit break right now, and I wanted to just talk about some of the gaming news that is going on. What I wanted to talk about is that Quantum Break just debuted at #1 this week in the UK charts, and I've been seeing some reviews for it, and it looks pretty good. I really want to play it. You know, the problem is right now for me that the Xbox One is just not a console that I'm willing to turn on again. It will have to update for like 50 gigabytes if I ever turn that machine on again. I know it came out in the PC, but I am not willing to make the jump to Windows 10 yet. When I do make the jump to Windows 10, though, I'll be very interested in playing Quantum Break because it looks really interesting. Because every game that they have done has been pretty interesting. If you ever look at like the original Max Payne or Alan Wake, just how fantastic Alan Wake is. I still play it to this day, actually. I play it every now and then, and I've not played it on the PC yet. The seeing as I just had a new PC not too long ago, I think I might check it out. But Quantum Break, good job for those guys debuting at #1. I never thought it would actually do that good, personally, but congratulations to those guys. And this next song is actually by Kao Otani. It's called Open Path, and it's from Shadow of the Colossus. Probably one of the greatest OSTs in gaming history. Trust me. It's amazing. There's so many tracks in the Shadow of the Colossus OST that are just great, and they all beat each other. It's hard to tell which one's the best. It was so hard to pick one for the actual episode because they're all so good. If anybody knows me, they know I like my fighting games, alright? And one of my favourite fighting games, still to this day, is Soul Calibur 2. And the music in that game, I don't know how to describe it. I think it does have a genre. I'm not entirely sure what it's called, but some people call it epic music, and I can only associate it with that. I like to call it hero music personally because I think fighting games need good music because you need a good tune in your head while you're fighting, and sometimes it gives you the burst to make a comeback in a fight. And Soul Calibur 2 has that kind of music. The first track that I want to play is called Eternal Struggle. There's a few names that I've got to say here. We've got Junichi Nakatsuru, Yoshito Yano Asuka, Sakai Ryo Hamanoto, Ryuichi Takada, and Takage. Those are the composers for Soul Calibur 2, and enjoy this music because it's really something. This is the prime example of one of those tracks I was talking about earlier where it repeats itself. But the good thing about it is when it repeats itself, it gets better. It just sounds like it gets better, even though it really isn't. Like you could listen to it all day because in your mind you think it's getting better. See if you can see what I'm talking about here. That track just reeks of nostalgia for me. Takes me back a long time when I first ever played Soul Calibur 2. I actually got the GameCube version because the exclusive character was Link from Zelda, PS2 version had Heihachi from Tekken, and what was it? The Xbox version had Spawn from the comics. It sounds like a pirate theme, that, and you can hear that without knowing the character who it is for. The character who it is for is Cervantes. He is a pirate. He's a ghost pirate, as far as I'm aware. The lore for Soul Calibur is very strange, but it's a great story. The next song on the list is actually from Soul Calibur 2 as well. It's the theme of rock, as far as I'm aware. I think it's for rock. It's called Confrontation, and I think it's just a little bit better than the last one. Enjoy it. Do you see what I mean about the repetitiveness of the song, and it just sounds like it gets better every time it repeats itself. And what I love about this music is whenever I listen to it, I never ever think about it. Nothing bad ever enters my mind when I listen to that kind of music. It's all good thoughts that enter my mind when I listen to that kind of music. I can only attribute it to like heroes, you know, and that's what it makes me think of as heroes, you know. Seeing as we're on the subject of fighting games, I'm going to play another couple of fighting game songs here. The first one is Tame a Bad Boy, and it is from King of Fighters 13. Enjoy it. It's probably one of the best 2D fighting games of the last generation, King of Fighters 13. What sucked about the game was that the netcode for the game is unplayable. That means you basically cannot play this game online. Unfortunately, fighting games, if they have lag online, they are unplayable. You cannot have any kind of training for the game. And if it doesn't have an online scene, the games don't really do too well. That is why I'm really looking forward to King of Fighters 14, which is coming out. I'm not even sure when it's coming out. It's only got a date of 2016, and I've had about 10 trailers so far for that game, and I'm like, dude, can I please know the release date for King of Fighters 14, please? No, you cannot. Not until we show all 100 characters. The next one is my favourite fighting game of all time. It's Street Fighter Alpha 3. And this is Ryu's theme. This is the road, and in my opinion, it's Ryu's best theme. Street Fighter Alpha 3 has a really catchy soundtrack, It kind of just makes me wish that they had the same composers on the newer games that were on these older games, because personally I think they just tear those games apart in terms of how good the music was back then compared to now. Have a listen. Yeah, please hire back your old developers, Capcom. I think you'd be doing yourself a favour. This next song is from The Witcher 3, and The Witcher 3 is basically the best game of 2015, in my opinion. I think it's got everything and more. I cannot give CD Projekt Red enough praise for that game, because it basically reignited my passion for video games, and that they can still make game changers in this day and age if they really want to. And a company like CD Projekt Red has made a customer for life from me, just based on The Witcher 3. I've not even played any other Witcher games, but I'm telling you right now, I will be buying every single CD Projekt Red game in the future. This song is called Spiker Rug. It's by Mikolai Stroitsky. It's actually quite a sad song, but I think it's really good. The next song on the list is from Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and it's with the Waterfalls of Agharta by Oscar Arajo. It's another kind of sad song here. I'm going to play another. I think the next one's an epic song, but this Waterfalls of Agharta has definitely got a hint of sadness in it. But I didn't want to play too many sad songs here, but I think they're just got something beautiful in them, and I think you need to hear them. Onwards to the next one, and the next one is called The Price of Freedom by Takeharu Ishimuro. It's from Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, which is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. Not a lot of people have played this game because it's actually a PSP exclusive. Believe that. It's never been re-released again, and I think people are missing out on that game. You make up your mind how you feel about this one. It's got some sadness in it, but it's definitely epic as well. think it's epic, but the story might make you think different. Spoilers, I'll shut up now in case anybody wants to play it. So I'm looking forward to Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is out this week, and I just cannot wait for the game, you know? I'll be honest, I ended up playing the Japanese version a couple of weeks ago. I played one playthrough, okay, sue me. It definitely affected my my time with the game. The PS4 Japanese version, few bugs in it, and it's got a bad frame rate. Really bad frame rate, to be honest. I'm looking really forward to the PC version of Dark Souls 3. I cannot lie. At least this time I'll be able to understand the text. It wasn't too bad though, but for somebody like me who loves the lore of Dark Souls games, maybe I shouldn't have done it, because I actually do like understanding the lore, and not being able to read the item descriptions seriously affects that. The next song that I want to play is actually a remix. It's a Streets of Rage 2. It's a remix for Streets of Rage 2, and it's called Streets of Rage 2 Beta Mix. Yeah, that's right. It's by Yuzo Koshiro, but I'm not entirely sure if he done the remix. But it's great though. fantastic. It's Yuzo Koshiro is a absolute legend when it comes to video game music. He actually does DJ to this day in Japan a lot of his Streets of Rage music. I've actually watched a few of his gigs on the YouTube before. The next one I've got is Runway. It's by Graham Norgate, Robin Beanland, and Grant Kirkhope. It's the soundtrack for GoldenEye 64. This soundtrack was really something, and the game was really something. Actually shocked me not too long ago to actually find out that GoldenEye 64 has never been re-released. It's only ever came out on the N64, can you believe that? And the game's still got so much credit to this day, people still remember it because that's how much of a huge impact it had. And let me tell you something, these composers done a really good job. They incorporated James Bond's music into completely different kinds of music. It's just have a listen to it and see what you think. guys, I think that's going to call an end to episode 1. I did want to try and keep it as relatively short as I could, and I hope everybody enjoyed the music that was here on the episode. I'm also going to try and put this podcast on iTunes. It's not too hard to put things on iTunes, and maybe we'll try and find some people who like gaming music as much as I do. But if you've listened to any of this podcast at all I can do is seriously thank you very much, and hopefully you guys like video game music as much as I do. Because these episodes could go on for who knows how long. I'm not entirely sure how often I want to do them. Weekly, 2 weekly, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to try and put it on iTunes. And I'll put it up on here as well on the YouTube. Yeah. Alright guys, I'll play one more song on the road out, and it's going to be the Metal Gear Solid main theme by Tappy Iwase. Enjoy this. Take it easy.